Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're going to figure out how to playfully hack our daily routines so we can read way more, learn more, and honestly, just stress less. I mean, we all know reading is a fantastic way to expand our minds and give our brains a much-needed break. But actually sitting down to do it, man, that can feel like a massive chore sometimes. So we're going to explore some really cool advanced productivity and wellness concepts that will literally change how you look at books forever. We are going to become the architects of our own reading habits.
Now it's the ultimate modern struggle, isn't it? In a world of constant notifications, how on earth can you possibly make time for books? You know the feeling. You sit down with the absolute best of intentions, maybe a fresh cup of coffee, and suddenly your phone buzzes. And boom, before you know it, an entire hour has just vanished into thin air. If this sounds familiar, listen to me loud and clear. Your willpower is not failing you. Really, the problem isn't a lack of focus. The real problem is that our modern environment is just terribly designed for reading. Think about it. The digital world is literally engineered to grab your attention, which makes opening a quiet book feel like climbing a mountain by comparison.
So look at it this way. On one side, we've got the classic trap of mindless scrolling. We've all been there, right? Flicking through endless feeds, absorbing these tiny chunks of information that, let's be honest, usually just leave us feeling anxious and totally overstimulated. But on the other side, we have the act of actually unlocking knowledge through reading. It's this incredibly healthy, rewarding escape from all that constant digital noise. It's crazy, but reading actually reduces stress while giving you a deep, immersive experience. So our main goal today is to figure out how we can naturally shift our default behavior away from that endless scrolling and over to the reading side of things without it feeling like some sort of punishment.
And here's the part that completely absolves us of all that guilt we carry around. Because the secret here isn't just trying harder. It's actually something called environmental design. Basically, this means deliberately restructuring your physical and digital surroundings to make reading the absolute easiest, most convenient option available to you. Think about it. If your phone is literally glued to your hand and your book is buried at the bottom of a backpack in the other room, well, of course you're going to scroll. It's human nature. But if we flip that and change the environment, the habit naturally follows. By just making the book easier to reach than the distraction, you completely eliminate the need for sheer willpower. So, the absolutely crucial piece of the puzzle is figuring out how to build these new mental pathways. And we do that through two awesome psychology concepts: habit stocking and cue design. Instead of trying to carve out a brand new, super intimidating hour for reading out of thin air, which almost never works anyway, you just link the new behavior, reading, to an existing daily routine you already do on autopilot. And then you use visible triggers or cues to actually prompt that action. You are essentially just seamlessly mapping reading onto the things you already do every single day. It makes the whole transition virtually frictionless. Which brings us to a super practical trick: the digital library hack. We are basically applying environmental design directly to the little device that usually distracts us the most. Step 1. Move your reading apps or your audiobooks front and center on your phone's home screen. Make them the very first thing you see when you unlock it. Step 2. Take those super distracting social media or gaming apps and bury them deep inside folders, like way over on the second or third page of your screen. Seriously, you can audit and redesign your phone right now as you're listening to this. You are quite literally building a physical barrier to distraction while rolling out the red carpet for your new reading habit. We also came across this absolutely fantastic strategy: gamify your reading. Look, learning should never feel like a chore, right? You can completely level up your knowledge playfully. First off, track your progress. Seeing how many pages you've crushed or chapters you've listened to gives you this amazing sense of accomplishment. Second, keep multiple books going at once. There's no rule saying you have to read just one book at a time. If you want a fun sci-fi novel in the morning and a deep nonfiction book at night, go for it. Having options keeps the whole experience fresh. And finally, remove the pressure of perfection. You don't need to read for 3 unbroken hours to call yourself a reader. And that actually brings me to a very important, incredibly liberating truth. Are you ready for this? It is perfectly okay to quit a book you don't enjoy. Yep, I am officially giving you permission, right here, right now, to drop a boring book. So often, we get completely stuck on a book we hate, and because we feel this weird obligation to finish it, we just stop reading altogether. And that drastically raises the barrier to entry for ever picking up a book again. If a story isn't capturing your attention, just put it down and find something else that does. Reading is for your own pleasure and your own learning. It is definitely not a test you have to pass. Section: Emily's Transformation.
turning theory into practice.
So let's look at Emily. She's a high school student who absolutely loves stories but really struggled to find the time for them. Like so many of us, she really wanted to read, but her modern environment was just constantly getting in the way. So here is exactly how she restructured her day. At nighttime, instead of taking her phone to bed with her, she set up her environment for total success. She left her phone charging in the kitchen and placed a physical novel right on her nightstand. The visible cue was the book, meaning the easiest option was the book. Then, for her morning bus ride to school, she downloaded an audiobook. By having these diverse options, a physical book at night, audio in the morning, she turned reading into this familiar, super low stress escape. She wasn't fighting herself anymore, she was just naturally falling into the easiest, most rewarding option available in that given moment. Now, I want to slow down for just a second, because this quote right here, this is the emotional core of this entire concept. The story you tell yourself about who you are matters more than sheer willpower. Wow. When you start using these environmental hacks, putting a book on your nightstand, moving the apps around on your phone, you aren't just reading a few extra pages. You are fundamentally transforming your identity. You start telling yourself, hey, I am a reader. I am someone who values knowledge and healthy digital balance. And once that becomes your actual identity, the habit just sustains itself.
So, I want to leave you with a direct challenge to redesign your own world today. Take a hard look at your daily routine. Where exactly is the boring moment in your day? Is it during your commute? Maybe waiting in line for coffee? Doing the dishes? I want you to identify just one window where you could easily slip on some headphones and listen to an audiobook, or maybe read just a few pages on your newly redesigned phone screen. The time is already there, I promise. It's just hiding in plain sight. It's time to take control of your environment, stop relying on sheer willpower, and start unlocking the knowledge that's just waiting for you.